Welcome everybody to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, on the road with my other host, Damon and Ja'Cory Armstrong.
Hello,
And this is
everybody.
Strong Perspective Podcast. I want you guys to please excuse the darkness and my dark silhouette as the cars pass me by, but I'm on the way north to Alaska, going north to Russia. But
We don't own the
yeah,
rights to that song.
look, you can sing it though. You know what I'm saying? You can sing it, but you can't play the music. But what we do is we adapt and we improvise and we adapt. So, Brother Damon, how you doing today, sir?
I'm blessed, man. Doing all right. I have no complaints, man. That's a good day for me, brother.
No doubt, no doubt. Corey, how you doing today, my guy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm putting a positive spin on this echo, bro. I'm about to say some shit that people need to hear twice.
Hey, look, adapt and overcome. That's what I wanted to say at first.
So we're gonna make it work.
Yes, sir. I think because I'm traveling and I'm the administrator of this, I should have let you do it, Ja'Cory. But yeah, like you said, we're gonna adapt. Because I think it's probably me because I don't hear an echo. So let's do some house cleaning. This is a Strong Perspective Podcast. And what I'd like you guys to do is go to our YouTube channel, go like and share and subscribe to the channel. Build us up. Let's go grassroots, build us up. This is a conversational show. We are men of many topics and talented and talking about just about anything. So go ahead and bless us with it. But like I said, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. What we're going to be concentrating on today, because of the travel and all this, we're just going to talk about current events, and Damon has something that he definitely wants to get off his chest. Yeah, we're going to start with you today, Damon.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say it's an issue, but I think it's some hating things going on, man. Why in the hell are people talking about Michigan and the sign stealing situation when everybody does it?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I remember from high school to college that assistant coach went and stole plays, and we practiced against it in practice. Came up with a how to combat that certain play or whatever. Now all of a sudden it's an issue when it comes to Michigan, man. Explain, make that make sense to me.
I mean,
Where'd you call?
to me, it just falls along the lines of traditional scouting, man. I mean, you go and you go to your opponent's games or practices if you can get in, and you scout everything. You're looking for plays, signs, overbearing parents, all of that stuff. Anything that'll give you an edge.
Yeah.
You said overbearing parents.
I mean,
Yeah.
let me say this to y'all. I think just some of the things that I've heard, I don't know how much truth in it, but the coach that was who actually got film or whatever, taking a photo of, he's dressing in he had dressing in disguises, man. So you know that I'm trying to think. Well, maybe that's what people have a problem at. You know what I'm saying? Is he Mr. Cloak and Dagger? He on there. He on his Jason Bourne stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
But
then
Keith,
as
here,
soon, as soon as they recognize him, though, he sprinted off.
Mhm.
here's the thing. This dude is a Marine captain, man. Of course he's covert, man, in what he do. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got you. I got
Don't be mad because Michigan has a budget. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing it, man.
you.
This is the most silliest thing. If Michigan wins the national title, they're gonna vacate it because of this board job. Are you serious, man? Okay, so let's go all the way back, look at film, all that stuff, and see how many of Alabama's national titles get vacated. Let's do that.
They wouldn't be able to, but see, that's the thing is proving it though. You know what I mean?
But
You
see, the
don't think
thing,
it can be proven?
No, man. They ain't got nobody on film.
the
Man,
thing with
film is everywhere.
the thing with Michigan, man, is the fact that even though everybody is doing it or whatever, Michigan is going to get punished once again because they got caught, and that's the
Yep.
only reason they're getting punished.
Okay.
I
Hey, look
mean,
here, man. You can steal all day long, man, as long as you don't get caught.
as long as you don't get caught, yeah.
No, you don't. And matter of fact, you can even say you're not a thief as long as you don't get caught.
That's some
Mhm.
shit.
I'm not a thief. Did you catch me?
Man, I think
Yeah, what's that
look,
in your hand?
all of a sudden, man, people know that people cheating, but they wanna base it on principle.
Yeah.
That's you talking about hypocrisy, man. Really?
Yeah.
But just like with the Fab Five, man, I mean, the nation knows that Michigan is a resilient school, and it's that Midwestern bounce back that's gonna happen, man.
I feel you.
I can say this, man. This is where I'm at with it. If you still in science, man, then you would win games by like a field goal or some shit like that, or 1 point and whatever. But if you steamrolling people, you just better than they are, man.
Hmm.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You just better than that. You have better players. But there's no, man. The only reason Ohio State of all schools, we're gonna say Michigan was stealing our signs and all that stuff. Damn, the last 2 years, how many points y'all lose by?
In the
Ain't
last
that
10
much
years,
stealing in the world?
in the last 10 years, how many times did Michigan even beat Ohio State? If they were stealing their signs, they was doing a piss poor job of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Pissy.
That is the craziest. I think it's much to do about nothing. But because they know that Michigan is finna win the national title, they gotta do what they gotta do. Hey man, we ain't as bad as y'all made us look. Man. Y'all only beat us, and I'm talking about Rutgers. You only beat us by that much because y'all was stealing our signs. No, we beat y'all because y'all suck.
Yeah, you freaking Rutgers.
You know what I'm saying? Ohio State, man. That's why Michigan been beating us.
No.
No, Michigan beat y'all at y'all place, beat the brakes off you, and you think that contributed to sign stealing? Y'all didn't show up.
Of course, they're gonna double down on the situation.
Please.
You know what I mean?
No, Harbaugh can't be on the sideline. Think about that for a minute. They finna play Penn State, number 10 school in the country. Now, what if Michigan still steamrolled them? Are they gonna vacate the Big Ten championship?
How deep is it? I know he got he can't be on the sideline, but do they go after the school for it? I mean, well, I guess if you get caught with one team, then well, it's like the poisonous fruit, right? They give you room for all of them. I mean,
If they they
or they
say
pile on.
if they do all this stuff, they put all these sanctions against Michigan, all that stuff, trying to hurt Harbaugh because they don't like him, right? What are you gonna do? You say, okay, I'll resign tomorrow. North Carolina, the Panthers, the Vikings, Chicago Bears. I can tell you at least 5 teams that's going to pick him up in a heartbeat. They're going to snatch him up in a heartbeat.
And people really don't like Harbaugh, though. He must be a jerk.
Yeah.
All right, well.
They ain't gonna let him in the stadium. Like he can't communicate with his coaches, man. Are you serious?
Hey, you said something earlier, Corey. I want you guys to address it. You pretty much, I'm paraphrasing. You talked about overzealous parents. But what was the term you used, Corey?
Overbearing parents.
Okay. So my question to you guys is it a such thing as an overbearing parent when it comes to sports? And if it is, can you give me an example of it?
I can. If your son running down the sideline and your parents stick his foot out and trip him, that's overbearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or when the parent either argues with the coach because his kid ain't playing, or fights the referee because of a call. Yeah. I mean, it got so bad, man, over the last couple of years for referees, man, that we don't. It's like the National Referee Association, man. They don't have a lot of bodies to send, like especially like to youth sports. You know, because something is always happening, like Pop Warner games and Little League baseball games and all that, between parents and officials and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I heard though?
What's that?
They were talking about the Lions and bad calls, how they changed rules because the Lions got shafted. You ever hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they changed a lot of rules because the Lions got what was that that one catch with the receivers catching and making a play after the catch. Remember when Megatron was playing in Chicago and he caught the ball and he spiked it and they said that wasn't a catch.
Yeah.
And they changed the rule. They got at least 4 other plays where they changed the rules because the Lions got shafted.
All right, well, look. Let me just, we're gonna move on to that, man. Just let me just make my comment on it when it comes to that, overbearing parent. Just to give people a little bit of context, our mother and our father were on two different points of the spectrum when it came to sport parents, right? Our dad would come into the gym and he'd be off in the corner somewhere watching the game.
Standing up.
You know what I'm saying? Standing up watching the game, right? And you would, afterwards he would, come and have a little meeting with him about what did or didn't do. Then our mom was that. She was loud,
Whew.
She was
borderline obnoxious, and it wasn't toward the other team; it was towards us.
yeah. For the same,
And
mom
I
never
give you an
criticized the
example.
other team.
Never did. She was never that. She wasn't that kind of parent. No, she was like, I'm on the free throw line, and at that time,
Oh my
my free
God.
throw
Oh
percentage,
man.
my free throw percentage sucked. I was a
Man.
junior. I was a junior in high school. It sucked, right? I'm on the line, and it's quiet. You know, we got a packed house. It's quiet. Our mother said, "Oh, you better not miss this either."
Oh my God. That shit
That's
was
what she
crazy,
said.
man.
That was her. That's what she said to me
And that's the
every
last
single
thing you
time.
hear.
You better not miss this either.
That's the
Hey,
last thing you hear before
Keith.
the shot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that was crazy. She knew the difference between 1-1 and 2 shots.
Uh-huh.
And every time I had 2 shots, just make one of them, baby.
Hey,
You-
look. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Fluke.
No, I'm just saying, man. She knew the game, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, I would go up there for 1-1. If you make this one, you have another shot, Flo. Oh my God, man. Just make the shot, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
Look,
she the only voice being heard in the whole damn gym. I'm like, wow.
there was one time I made a mistake and said, "Mom, on the line." She said, "Why are you talking to me? Shoot the damn ball, boy."
Yeah.
She told me.
Yeah.
She told me I missed. I made the first shot on the 1-on-1 shot. I made the first shot, and I missed the second one. She was like, "Well, you got one of them. That's 1 point in your stat."
Yeah.
Yo, when I first went to Issy High playing basketball, man, I'm sitting on I was in the game, you know, and just out there, man, just stumbling this shit. And see, I could hear on the side, "Get him out of the game. Take him out. Take him out. Jaquan ran up and down the goddamn court." And then so I go and sit down on the bench, and the fellas is like, "Dang, Jaquan, who's that lady?" I said, "Man, that's my mama, man." That's my mama, man. She she just get excited. That's all.
Man,
Yeah.
I would get. Hey, she would be so voiceless, man. I would hear her because you could tune everybody else out, but that person that means something to you, man. And she was like, "Now, if they pass the ball down to you, you might get fouled, but you got to shoot some free throws."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Like,
tell you,
man.
"What are you doing?"
When I went to college,
That's me, man. That's my echo.
when I went to college, I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing is I missed it. I missed it. I really did. I missed
Mm-hmm.
hearing her. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter how loud the gym was, we could always hear it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then she kept accurate stats.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
after the game, I see her standing at the stat table comparing notes and shit.
Yep.
I'm like, damn.
She took no. They my mother took the stats for when I was playing.
For real?
Yeah,
Hey,
our
you
mother.
see
I
what-
said my mother. I said she took the stats for our team, man.
Hey, look. Yeah, Jaquan, you see what Paul said?
Talk about parents. What about your best friend doing a track? I was about to run. All I hear is, "Don't lose." I mean, Look, athletic kids, parents, man. I mean, with the living vicariously through the kids and knowing what your child's potential is, and understanding when your son or daughter's dogging it,
Yeah,
you be less than not to say something, man.
I tell you, and that was the thing with me was my oldest. When my oldest, and I do it with my youngest son, Carson. On my oldest key, I had to let him know. I said, the only time you'll hear my voice if you are dogging it. I don't care how many points I told him, I said, I don't care how many points you score, how many rebounds you get. I said, you're built to go hard. And if you're not going hard, that's what you're going to hear me say. Pick it up. What you doing?
When mine was playing, man. When mine was playing, I'd be on the sidelines like, "Hey, pretty girl, you pretty." You just, yeah, because that was it. I mean, she didn't give a fuck about no sports, but she went hard. But as far as working on the game, she ain't had time for that shit.
Look at when I went to my daughter's games, I'm not talking about, Morgan, go ahead. That's your move, man. That's your shot. That's your shot. She missed a shot. I'll be like, that's all right, baby. Do it. And then the parents behind me be like, excuse me, be like, you doing good, Morgan. I don't know if your dad at the same game we at, but you playing good. Yay for Morgan. And I turn around, I'm like, are you serious, man? That's my daughter. And then Morgan coming to me at the end of the game talking about, Dad, man, you got to chill, man. It was just a different atmosphere, different vibe, man, When I see a parent cheering for their kid, man, I know that's compassion and that's design because they know that child, man.
And it's a difference too. It's a difference where you got those helicopter parents who think because their child look good in the layup line that their child is all world and don't pay attention to what that son or daughter do during the game. You know what I'm saying? See, what I understood was I let my son be coached. You feel what I'm saying? And I let them both be coached. And the thing about it is, you have to. I mean, just like us, we grew up under the old school rules. You get cussed out. You'll get cussed out, and you'll be mad at yourself. You ain't mad at the coach you got cussed out. You mad at yourself because you know exactly what the hell the coach is complaining about. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, I let my son be coached, and y'all gotta understand, I let him get coached by some fucking bums, man. You know what I'm saying? And I would go back and explain to them and look, try what he wants you to do, but I teach you to be a complete player so you don't fall victim or fall subject to somebody who's this is what these coaches nowadays, they've become managers. They don't teach the game anymore. You know what I mean? They become managers. They manage it. You know what I'm saying?
That started with Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
He was the luckiest man in the NBA.
Yeah, him and Pat Riley.
Yeah.
But everybody swear these guys are geniuses. No, man, they had Hall of Famers play for them.
Now, my man, coach for Detroit, what's his name?
Chuck Daly.
Daly was a coach.
Daly was a coach, and he was smooth. See, that's the thing about Daly. Daly had a good coaching mind, but he also made the men relax around him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They trusted him.
And my man, before Daly, who coached Iverson.
I know you're talking about.
John Thompson.
No,
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 that
no,
was
no,
college.
no.
Coach for Philly, then he came to Detroit.
I know exactly what.
He was a hell of a coach. With the glasses. What was my man name? Hey, Paul, who was the coach, man?
It'll come to me because he won a national championship. He went to a national championship with UCLA, but he won a national championship with Kansas.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Anyway, man, he was a hell of a coach, man, because he coached Iverson, man. Imagine that job.
But you know what? The thing about it, and that's why he ended up at Detroit, because he felt he became bigger than Iverson. He was bigger than Iverson, right?
You think
because
so?
Yeah. Everywhere he goes, man, everywhere he went, it's always when he got let go, it had to do with his personality. It didn't have nothing to do with his coaching ability. It had everything to do with his ego. You know what I mean? What is his name?
I forget his name. I mean, but you can kind of I kind of see how that's possible, because I mean, you got what, a half of concert, well, just a number, $500 million worth of athletes in the locker room, and they all probably make more money than you.
They do.
So right. you gotta be a stern asshole in some situations.
He's an old school coach too, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think about rest in peace, Bobby Knight, man?
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at Bobby Knight. I'm laughing at Paul's comment. You remember that, man? That was you yelling at me.
Hey, Paul, that's why he started laughing when he read it. You know what I mean? He tried to play it off, though.
I just want to good things for you, brother.
I think I would have done well being coached by Bobby Knight. I probably would have wanted to strangle his ass, though. You know what I mean?
I could have played for Bobby.
His strength was
Bobby Knight was that dude, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Smoke.
No, because I've always had coaches like that. You know what I mean? If it was a practice, man, even when I was doing well, if I wasn't called a big dumb son of a bitch, then it just wasn't a good practice for me. You know.
I remember we was playing Monroe, and I think it was the districts, or whatever. And Keith got into it with Dave Big Man. And everybody ran off the bench for my brother's protection and shit. Ready to buck with him. Like he was blocking me out. I couldn't even barely get off the bench. And he turned around and he said, how the hell? He said, what is you doing? I said, I'm finna go out here with my brother. He finna fight. He was like, how am I going to control these other people if they see you get up? And at the time,
Go ahead.
At the time, I didn't understand what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? This is a high school guy, but that's my sophomore year and shit. I didn't understand what he was saying, but you know what? When I thought about it in retrospect, he was absolutely right.
Yeah, that's leadership, man. But he should explain that to you.
He didn't at the time.
I tell you, the crazy thing was that boy, and then all I did was protect my man, Wesley. He was stepping in Wesley, so I just stepped in like, yo, man, chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And then, he steps back and balls his fist up. I'm like, all right, right? Next thing you know, the bench came off and everybody came out. You see how many people came out of the stand?
Yeah.
Because that was a home game for us.
Yep.
And them boys was looking around, and look, I'm gonna tell you, as a matter of fact, that broke their momentum too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because we was going back and forth, and I think they was up by maybe 1 or 2 points.
Because they was good. They were good. They were
Yeah,
ranked
they
at
was
the
good.
time.
It was good.
Yeah.
But see, most people didn't understand how good we was. Oh,
Well,
we was a monster. And we choked against Antoine Jobert. I choked. I'll say that. I'll say that to the very end. I should have just played my game. I'm worried about, and it wasn't no 3-point line, so I'm worried about Antoine shooting from 50 instead of the man I was guarding who averaged like 10. He ended up going to Iowa. What was his name? Jones, last name. He ended up going to Iowa. He had 16. You know what I'm saying? And 10 of them was layups because I was trying to help, and he was rolling to the basket. So that's the kind of stuff that I remember. But that's being a student of the game. You know
yep.
what I mean?
And that was my major point, man. All through my whole life, I was thinking, man, why he stopped me? But it's like you said, people was trying to come out
Yeah.
the crowd. And he was like, if I would have been in that mix, it'd have been chaos. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
He's like, it'd have been chaos if I would have went over there and did my thing. And he's like, no, man, you sit your ass here and let me try to control the situation. But I felt like, well, you picked me out. He had no choice but to pick me out, man.
You were sitting beside him though.
Yeah, he had no choice but to pick me out. If I'd have ran out on the court, it'd have been a mayhem.
Yeah.
You've been out there pistol whipping motherfuckers.
Shit.
It'd have been
But
mayhem.
I tell you, the only reason now here's the thing. Just switch it up, but we really stand there. How much influence should you have over your child when they go to college? Understanding that you paying the bills now, but how much influence do you think? How much say so do you think you should have when it comes to your child when they're in college?
I mean, the notion that, just because a kid is 18 years old, that they got it together and they can handle their own business outside of the house is just absolutely ridiculous, man. And I'm not taking away anything from 18-year-olds because, they do it every day. But if they have an active parent or active parents, then I think involvement it needs to be encouraged, to a certain extent.
I agree.
Like being in the locker room and having a dispute with a grown man dispute with a coach or whatever, and you like, well, shit, I'm calling my daddy. Aren't you a grown man? And all, no, well, no, I mean, yeah, I am, but this is a situation where I don't know how to broach this situation, so I need somebody that's a little more savvy
You
than me.
know, my dad would think before he fucked you up. I want to fuck you up right now. You know what I'm saying? Luke.
I think for me, man, what it boils down to is this: I can't be a hypocrite, man, because when you go into a situation like that, you allow a person to express themselves and be who they are. You know what I'm saying? When you see them overstepping and doing things, man, that might harm them in the long run, then you speak up about it. But if they're just having fun and doing what everybody else is doing, then you have to give them some type of leeway, because how can you say don't do this, or do that when you did it your damn self? You know what I'm saying? You tell them, well, hey man, I see what you're doing and where you're going with it, but I did the same things, and this was my experience. You know what I'm saying? You try to have that conversation with them. You try to have that conversation with them. But as far as trying to micromanage the shit, it's not gonna happen, man, because they'll only see your side of shit and what you explaining. You know what I'm saying? But if you honest, you say, hey man, you know, I did the same shit, man, and this what happened. Then they have the wherewithal to say, wow, let me think about that before I make that move or make that step. You know what I'm saying? But if you go in saying, man, don't do this and don't do that, you know what I'm saying? Then it's a problem. That's just like if you tell your daughter, don't mess with that nigga. Excuse my language. I ain't mean to say that. Don't mess with that guy. And they be like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna test it and they're gonna see and they're gonna start to figure out, okay, you know, I can handle this and not pay attention to the message. This is my point. Not pay attention to the message. Every father who has a daughter can tell their daughter what to avoid, but they have their own mind. You know what I'm saying? They have their own mind, and they're not thinking about it in that situation. But if you say, okay, now you can go that route, well, I'm telling you how this guy is. And once they experience what you described to them, they can say, okay, I can listen to my dad because he know what the hell they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know what he's talking about. He allowed me to express myself and learn from my own experience. But just telling somebody, how many people y'all know, man, learn from what somebody told them, man? You know,
I thought you wanted me to answer that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, everybody has their own maturation process. Is what I'm saying, man. Everybody
people do it every day in the classroom. Though.
I mean,
they pick up information that's disseminated through from another person or whatever. But then these same people, will swear up and down that they need to experience that loss, that heartache, that same pain, just because that's a life process. I understand that. I do. But you don't always have to learn the hard lessons. How many ass kickings did I get when I was a kid?
Less than me.
Exactly. You
not
think
a lot.
Exactly. You think that was luck? That was by design. I didn't do the things that y'all did to get y'all ass kicked.
Yeah. But see, here's another thing I want to add to that is this. As a father, when we're raising our children, there's a lot of things that we're the authoritative person. We're the provider. You know what I mean? We deal out the knowledge, all of that. But a key component to it all is trust. You see, I trusted our father. He could be lying to my face, but he built this trust in me. I trusted him. I don't know if it trusted, but I put my trust in him, right? So if he tell me, you lick that wall, your tongue gonna burn off. That's what I'm not gonna do. Even though I see other people licking that wall, guess what I'm not gonna do? Because I trusted him. I chose to trust him. So that's the thing that I wanted to add to what you guys were saying is if your child trusts you, right? And this is a guess because we all don't know how much our children trust us or whatever, right? But if your child trusts you, in your opinion, do you think you can guide them and steer them away from the bullshit?
Absolutely. I mean, I like to think I do that for a living, man. But children in general, man. I don't want to say that it's like a common thing, but they look for heroes outside of the house. So even if you can get that trust from a child, I mean, anything you say or anything that I said was secondary until it was confirmed by somebody else.
That's true.
I wasn't a smart guy to my child until she moved out.
I think it has a lot to add on to your point. It has a lot to do with conditioning. We are as a community, we are conditioned to look for heroes outside the house. That's just the American way, I think. What do you think, Luke?
I think like this here, man. When you talk about trust between parent and child, man, that's something that has to be built, that has to be established. Because when you think about a child only wants what they want. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to defeat. They don't know how to
Differentiate.
yeah or make a decision in their best interest. They just know they want what they want. So Keith talking about building that trust. How do you do that? You do that by establishing certain rules and say this is what it is. I don't mean going upside their head to condition them. I'm talking about putting them in a position where they can learn from their mistakes. So I'm saying there's a very big difference from conditioning and them learning from their own personal experiences, man. So when I think about building trust with my 3 kids, I had to learn how to trust them first.
It's a good
You know what I'm
point.
saying? I had to learn how to trust them first in terms of what they picked up from me without me conditioning them, but just learning from me through examples and shit. So if I ask a question and say, "Well, what made you decide to do it that way?" Because that's what I saw in you. That wasn't anything that I pushed. It was just an example that I lived, and they saw for themselves, and they saw that because they came to a conclusion that they could trust me because I was that provider. I was the stalwart person in their life. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm pushing the envelope, if I'm pushing the situation, especially with young ladies, you say, don't mess with that guy because he ain't no good. What's the first thing they're gonna think about? Well, why? Why ain't they that any good or whatever? I want to see that for myself. You know what I'm saying? But if you see the other contrast to that and say, hey man, these are only type of brothers that my dad deal with. Good guys, good men who got situations I can look at and say, you know what, that's the way to be. They learn that through example. You know what I'm saying? What is the one thing that we hated as kids, man? When our parents said, don't do that, and then we asked the question, well, why? Because I said so.
I said so.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it unless it was something that I wanted. But if they say
Yeah,
because
but
I said so, but it has something to do with the trust thing.
yeah,
I'd be pissed, but I accepted it.
yeah, but
But I,
that's an emotion that you experience. That being pissed off, that's an emotion that you experience
yeah,
because that's what you wanted, and you can't
yeah,
understand. You can't understand why your parents were telling you not to do it, and it's like
yeah,
I need to find. You know what I'm saying? Then you become what do you call that? Like with the Pandora's box situation. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see. Why is my parents keeping me from this situation? What am I missing?
The hardest lesson, man, I had to disseminate to my child, man, was the fact that outside of this house, you are not special. Are not special. Nobody sees you in a certain light from the door. You know, like if somebody has good positive sentiments towards you, that's something that you have to develop. That's something that you gotta work on, and you work on the bad just as well as the good. You know, and I don't want to make it sound like I tore her down or anything like that. You know, but I had to have her understand that when she leaves the confines of this house, you know, all the ills of the world are there, and they're inviting. You know what I mean? And if you get involved with these things, you're going to go to jail. You could possibly die. Bad things could happen to you because you are not special. You know, not to anybody outside of this house.
You know what? I feel that. I feel that. I think you are not special is a very impactful thing to say. And it depends on what time of day it was and how she received it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
But
I'm saying I wouldn't say anything like that without explanation.
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was going to ask the same question. Was that situational when you made that point?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was going to add on to it is simple fact that, you know, when I talk to my sons, or any child, but especially my son, I tell them, you know, when they was young, when they got disappointed, I used to say to them, and our dad said this to me before, I say, listen, you're bigger than this street that you live on right now. You're bigger than that cul-de-sac. You're bigger than this city. Whether you leave it or not, you are bigger, right? And then I was like, this is why. Because the thing about it is, you understanding that every human being is special within themselves. Now, if you judge yourself off of what the world is offering you, you're gonna be disappointed every time. Sometimes you're gonna, you know, roll the dice and get to catch that 7. But that's just a lucky coincidence. You feel what I'm saying? When you match the world, right? So getting back to what you were saying, Jafar, when I told my son, I gave them a negative, not negative. When I critiqued them and they didn't like it, I like that. That's a better way of putting it. I explained to them, just like Snoop said, I explained to them exactly why I felt that way and how I think that they can change it if they choose to do so. I gave them options. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times was growing up, I was always the why person. Even though you're telling me to do this shit and I'm doing it, I need to know why because this don't feel right. Now, did I get an answer every time? Nope. But what it did was it helped me to understand that I'm not going to ever do anything blindly. I'm not going to do anything blindly. I had to establish trust with our parents, trusting that they had my best interests, and they gave me something. Man, it was in love. My foot slipped off the pedal, but just yeah, just giving under didn't having the trust in them to have my best interest at heart. You feel me? And that in itself I had to build. You know what I mean? Because you get to know your parents. You know their personality. You don't know them fully, but you get to know them though. How they react to certain things that you do, right?
Right. You trying to figure out how to manipulate them.
Yeah,
But even with
or
that,
not get in trouble.
even
You know
even
what I'm
with
saying?
that though, I mean, you said something, Keith, that struck me, man, because even though, in bad situations, you might roll a seven and get lucky. Those sevens, man, it's just the world building up a case on you. Not everybody,
Uh-huh.
not everybody gets hooked the first time they use cocaine.
Gotcha.
It's that second and third time that's gonna fuck you over.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing, though. As a child, man, the only thing that you know, as a baby, as a child, as a teen, whatever, the only thing that you know is what you want, and you try to figure out how to get it by any means necessary, right? Your parents are there because they lived in the world way before you do. They try to tell you, try to give you a heads up on shit. Most of us don't get that shit, man. So what did we learn? We learn from our own personal mistakes, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then your parents chime in and say, got your head bumped, didn't you? Got your head
So
bumped. It
I
is
never.
it is it is a special thing, man, when a child learns from other people's mistakes. That's a special child, man.
look, I don't know, man. I don't never consider myself special, but I learn from other people's mistakes, bro. I
How many
really
how
do.
many other people how many other people you know did that?
I mean, I think it's more than a small number. I think it's a good number
Yeah,
because my thing is there's also people out there, just like you said, have to go out and test the waters. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Contrary. That's the funny. I learned this word late in life. They're contrary to the truth, where you know that this person is giving you something, aka the parent, is giving you something that's going to give you to help you to live, right? But something in you want to test the water too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just speaking to what you're saying, Fluke. As far as you bumped your head, didn't you? I told you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it is, it is. We all, just like you say, we all are different, and we learn different in different ways. Like I commented on that because me, bro, I learn from other people's mistakes, and I learn from mine. You know what I'm saying? And,
hmm
and, and I love to spread the love because I don't like it when people get jammed up on something that somebody could have pulled their coat about.
yeah.
I detest that shit.
And they just stand around and watch that shit.
Just
Like,
standing
what's
around
wrong?
watching
What's
it.
wrong with you, man?
You know what I'm
But
saying?
see, but that said though,
Go ahead.
man, that said, not to cut you off, bro, but that said, man, you don't think they got the message before?
But
You know what I'm
but
saying?
that's what.
Some people are hard-headed in that regard, man. You know what I'm saying? They got to
Yeah.
see it for their damn self. I mean, there are some people who are just built like that, man.
But that
Hey,
goes
look.
back to my earlier point, man. When I told my daughter that outside of this house you're not special. You're gonna have to endure the same horrible consequences that you see other people endure.
Expound on
I
that, bro.
you know, and yeah.
Expound
Go
on
ahead,
that, bro.
Corey.
Well, I mean, this is the old adage, man. If I see a person burn their hands on the stove 100 times, then it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for me to go and touch that stove, would it?
Okay, that's the extreme.
Well, no, it's not. That's the
No,
simplest I could. That's the
but
simplest I could come up with.
I'm speaking in terms of peer pressure, man. Is what I'm talking about.
bro,
Well, I
let me
mean,
tell you
our children see their friends and their peers fail, but oftentimes they'll go out and attempt the same things. If that's not insanity, I don't know what it is.
I
look,
think that. Go ahead, Keith.
how many times, and I learned this from our father. How many times in your life you was with somebody and you got caught out there? You and your man or your boys doing some dumb shit and you got caught out there. And you got home and you suffered the consequence by getting the ass whooped, right? Well, that happened to me once. And you know what our pop said to me? While I'm in the middle of after the 10th flash, and I'm wondering if this man gonna stop whooping my ass. He said, "Hey, did you hear a knock on the door?" He kept asking that shit. I was like, what the fuck did that mean? And when you gonna stop? Right? He said, them little bastards you was with, are they knocking on the door to prevent you from getting your ass whooped? Because you know, they know you're getting your ass whooped. And it hit me like, oh shit.
Let me tell you a story in contrast to that, brother. My dad told me, damn, dude, the only reason why I'm finna whoop your ass is because I can't get no sleep. I did the same shit you did. Hell, I didn't come back home for days. You know what I'm saying?
You was a damn sophomore.
Hold
Out
on.
at 4 o'clock in the damn morning,
He
man.
said,
What you talking about?
This is what he said. He said, consider other people's situation, man, while you being selfish. Is what he said.
You knew you was fucking up. You want to know why?
And he confessed to me that he was a fuck up too.
What, all right.
But his message was, consider other people while you out there fucking up.
So this is what I'm saying to you, dog. And I want your honest opinion about it.
Okay.
The reason why you was out that late is because you had a fucking flat tire, first of all. Right? But secondly, you pushed that envelope anyway.
Yeah, I pushed the envelope.
You made that decision, right?
What teenager don't push the envelope, man?
Bro, that's not. Look, I understand what you're saying, but my point is this. After that, right? That planted the seed for change for you, didn't it?
No, what it did was make me realize that, you know what? I had to consider that my dad had to get out at 4 o'clock in the morning looking for me. That's what it did.
Just like I said.
How am I going to be responsible for the world's indiscretions, man? When I'm just going through my own personal shit. I'm not responsible for other people's mistakes, man. I have to make my own to learn from that shit. You know what I'm saying? And when after my dad whooped my ass, I learned because he said he didn't talk about, hey man, you should know better. Shit, he's just like, dude, man, you know you inconveniencing people when you do that, be it through loss of sleep or fear. Do you take any other people in consideration while you decide to do what you do? That's the message he gave me, man. So as far as learning from other people's mistakes, I said that's a special trait that people have who's able to do that. But people make their mistakes, man. And the only time that you recognize the mistakes that you make, man, is when they make it personal and say, Man, I used to do the same shit.
No, look, I'm not debating you, man. Yeah, people make mistakes, and the majority of the time, the mistakes that they make, they learn from it, right? You know, they bump their head. I get that. I get that. But I don't think it's just one way. It's a lot of ways. And I told you, like me personally, I just been able, and I don't think I'm special because of it. I just been able to pay attention to
Right.
people, what people have done. Now, was it in every case? Nope. Nope. I had to bump my head, thinking that,
Right.
I can get away with some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I learned, nope. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there with my ass toe because I thought I was slick, sly, and clever. You know what I mean?
But you know what though? A person can judge you in that way. But if you walk in the house high as hell, you done put Visine in your eyes and you on point with your shit, and the person that's judging you falling over tables and shit. That person that's being judged, how they gonna take that? What they gonna say?
First of all,
Oh,
see,
don't do what I do. Do what I say.
and I look at that entirely different, bro, because I get your point, right? But you looking at a grown man that go to work every day that fed you. You understand? You
Well,
you you growing up.
you taking it to another
No,
spectrum.
no, not really. Because what you said was, how would you take it because you see him stumbling over tables because he has some drink?
And I'm saying that as an example. I never
Okay.
experienced that. But I'm saying that as an example.
I see what you're saying.
But,
Look,
but
I'm
my
not
point is
disagreeing
this.
with you though. I'm
My
not
point is
disagreeing.
this. My point is this. If you're dealing with a adolescent or a teenager, right?
Yeah.
If you're dealing with them, and you say, man, you need to do this shit this way. This is how it should be done. And I don't expect anything else from you but this. What is that child gonna do? They're gonna be like, okay. But if you make it more personal and you say, man, I did the same shit, dude. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna wind up. Then you leaving that onus in their court, man. They have to
Yeah,
decide when they get their head bumped, they're gonna say, damn, he did tell me this
but
shit was
but
gonna
bro,
happen.
I'm afraid to do that.
Well, that's
I like setting the standard and maintaining the standard.
but that's your issue.
But I mean, is it safe for society to do that though? I mean, for us,
Look here,
I
man.
don't.
Life
Sometimes I
happens,
don't
man.
think.
For us to have
What?
a laissez-faire attitude towards certain things in our household, it's not safe for us, man.
But is that
Some
laissez-faire attitude though?
yeah, it is. I mean,
Okay, so all the things,
parenting is a full-time job.
Oh, let them finish, Luke. Then you can talk.
Parenting is a full-time job, man, and sometimes you need to tell your kids, "Don't do this," because I said so.
Mhm.
I'm more comfortable with it. So what was you saying, Luke?
My point is this, man. If we're honest with ourselves, man, did we follow our parents' rules, man?
Not
You know what
all
I'm
of them,
saying?
no.
No, we didn't. And there were certain situations where we did whatever the hell we did, and at the end of the day, we were like, damn, that didn't work out for me. And then that whole situation that your parent was trying to say to you makes sense to you. And then that's where trust comes in.
Well, I mean, okay. Can it be a compromise? Is the blending of the two? Because like I said
It
earlier,
always is.
I understand that. I understand that, but it's our responsibility to raise our children, right? So I got to be flexible. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
I
That's
got to
exactly
be
the point I'm
flexible.
making.
But see,
Right.
Yeah.
My point is, man,
You absolutely right, Keith. That's the point I was making. You have to be flexible and understanding.
My point, you asked if we always followed our parents' rules. My point is, I followed them more than I didn't follow them. So a lot of things I didn't have to deal with.
Good point.
Yeah, and I think most people do.
You gotta understand something. And Jaquari was there by himself, so they was focused solely on him.
Right.
So a lot of time, yeah.
And I respect that. I respect that. But my point is, now ask yourself and be honest with yourself. All the things that your parents warned you against and didn't want you to do, and you got through it and you became okay, right? But what about all the shit your parents didn't know you did that they would be disappointed about?
Well, they're disappointed, man.
Let y'all know I'm going through a dead spot if y'all see me delaying, but go ahead.
All right. Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say.
My fault, man.
Say what you're gonna say again. Say what you said again, Fluke.
I'm saying if we are honest with ourselves, there was a lot of things that we did that our parents did not know about.
Yeah,
and we turned out okay.
A lot of things, man. A lot of things that I started to do, and like mid stride, I stopped because of what I learned in the house. You know, I mean, as far as the streets go, man, you know, shit. Hell, I did things. You know, and a lot of times I felt like I needed to, you know, do a certain thing, man, you know, just so I could have resources and funds for myself, so I wouldn't have to depend on my parents, man. But you know, I never did.
We all did that, bro.
And that was because I always paid attention to the outcomes, man. I mean, nobody who was ever, you know, I never seen anybody scrambling in the streets, you know, to a degree that they were wholly successful. It only lasted for a little while, man. You know, so I said, I told myself, man, I'm about sustainability, man. You know, so I've always said, you know, I ain't no hustler. Hell, I got the heart of a hustler. You know, but as far as getting out there and doing things that people, you know, deem hustle worthy, I stayed away from it because, like I said, man, you know, the end result was always bad, always bad. You know?
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily something that our parents had to sit down and talk to me about. You know, I never wanted to go to jail, man. I never wanted to get shot down in the street. I never wanted to, you know, anything bad to happen to me that was connected to living that lifestyle, man. So, you know, I suffered through
it. But that's never anybody's intention, man. You know what I'm saying?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people go out and do bullshit with the understanding that they know they're going to crash out one day.
So those are martyrs?
No, those are damn fools because they don't pay attention to the people around them.
Let's call it what it is then. That's real.
You can't sell dope and then get popped. And while you locked up, you hear about a different way to sell dope and come out and start doing the different, you know, making different moves or whatever, and you get popped again. So what is that telling people? Okay, does that instill in people the fact that selling dope is bad and that you're always going to get caught, or do you or you know, do you see yourself savvy enough to figure out the system and not have the same end result? It's just not smart. But that sounds like a judgment, man. You know, and I like to see myself as a non-judgmental person. You know, sometimes it comes out.
What if you are judgmental, man? What's wrong with that?
I don't think it's a bad thing unless you got a hair trigger when it comes to it.
Or you use it or you use it to tear somebody down, then it's a
Yeah.
bad thing.
Yeah, I think overall for me, it's the delivery. You know, because I've had to tell people some horrible things.
Uh-huh.
You know, some life changing things. Like, you know, like, bro, you not getting out. You never getting out. You're never gonna be on the street again. But in that same vein, you know, read this book. You know, get into this. You know, because even though you ain't gonna see the streets again, man, you still got to maintain your life. You know, you're young, so you're gonna crash out, but you can't crash out forever.
That got to be a hell of a thing, bro, to tell a person that shit, man.
I mean, it is. It is. I mean, you know, a person does some horrible shit to another person, and you know, if they're close to 18 years old, and you know they keep going back and forth to court, and when they leave court, you know they turn around and they tell their mama, "I'll be home soon." You know what kind of delusional bullshit is that to support? I don't support that. I'm not about tearing anybody down. I never do that. You know, so as far as the judgment goes, man, I'm about like, look, this is gonna be your life now, bro. This is gonna be your life now, man. So the best thing I could tell you to do, man, is fill it with books and things that's gonna keep your time from getting extended.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all a question. What are you guys thinking about? I think, boy, you probably see this more. Have you noticed? Have you been seeing in the news and all these different places where these district attorneys, adult district attorneys, are refusing to prosecute on a lot of things?
Hmm.
I ain't
What do
hip
you?
to that, man.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if it's not a refusal
Uh,
to
uh,
prosecute,
Here, here, here's one. The city of Philadelphia, their policemen don't enforce traffic laws now. They don't pull you over for anything unless you're being breached. So the district attorney said that they are not going to prosecute for any traffic citation. Now, that's an example. Um, I know you've seen these guys in Chicago, in New York, where they have these flash mobs go into these high-end stores and grab everything. And the DA saying that they're not going to prosecute for the thievery. This is why those folks go in there, and the folks in the stores are helpless. I'm talking about the employees are helpless. And even if they stop somebody, these are more in the bigger metropolitan cities. Even if they stop somebody, right, the DAs are not prosecuting for that.
yeah, I see it. I mean, that's what's going on in like California, like in LA.
Yeah.
The flash mobs. I mean, it's a regular thing. I mean,
New York, New
but see,
York, yeah.
this is my question, man. This is my question. Okay, in Philadelphia, they're not going to be like enforcing traffic laws. You know, in other states or whatever, you know, they have flash mobs running in stores and grabbing shit, right? Okay, where else is the manpower being put? You know, where else are the resources going? The city of Philadelphia, they had a whole for 20 years, a whole TV show about cars getting towed and
Yeah.
impound and impounded for traffic citations. So once that revenue dries up, where they going where they going get get their money from?
I feel you.
I mean,
I feel
that's pretty much explains the situation right there. I mean, I can't even add on to that.
you. Okay. Now let me throw this at you. A friend of mine who's still working in law enforcement said he read something where there's a DA, I forget which city is in, that's trying to get a judge disbarred because the judge refused a plea bargain that the DA had for a guy. This guy killed 3 people. One was a hit for hire. The second, killing a witness. He was supposed to be seeing, right?
Hey, hold on for a
The
minute, bro.
DA had it up.
You breaking up, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no.
Can you hear
You keep
me?
going in and
DA
out.
gave him a plea. Yeah,
Bro, you driving through a bad area. We can't hear nothing you're saying.
I know that to be going in and out because I'm getting closer to DC, man. You know what I mean? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Anyways, bro, I think in terms of traffic stops and flash robbing stores and shit like that, I think those are two separate situations. Man. You have to indict and you have to charge people when they robbing people because that's you know what I'm saying. When it was a traffic stop, that's just your own individual thing, man. But when you robbing somebody, you affecting a whole lot of other people.
Yeah, but in terms of revenue and prosecution, man, I mean, I think they go hand in hand. You know, traffic stops, man, in every large metropolitan city, man, is responsible for, I don't know what particular, I don't know where the resources go, you know, probably strictly to the police department. But if that resource is cut off, you know, I it, I just see a lot of drastic situations coming from that, man. Seriously, I mean, because what is that telling our kids?
Well, if you if
Yeah.
you if you flash robbing a store, then you doing the crime, and that's what it is. But if you can't fabricate a situation where somebody's going in and robbing something. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a false report on that shit. As it pertains to being stopped at the traffic stop, there's you got court involved and fighting the ticket and all that stuff, and you don't know what's true. It might come out not to be true or whatever. But you cannot dispute some clown ass people going in, breaking glass and stealing shit. So
You know
so
that's
there
that's
is a
going that's
there
going
is a
on everywhere,
priority
man.
there. There is a priority there. You know what I'm saying? You have to prosecute that as opposed to a traffic stop, man. That is some of that stuff is tying up the court, isn't it?
Yeah, but think about the implications, though, bro. I mean, if it's a traffic stop, say we got a dude driving on a suspended license, man, and he causes an accident.
That's different because that involves somebody else that's causing an accident.
Yeah,
being
I mean, but
stopped
I mean,
because
they
but the
supposedly your
baseline,
lights are out.
but
That's something, you know.
the baseline is he feels comfortable enough to drive with on a suspended license because he knows if he gets stopped that he's not going to he might not even get a ticket for it. He's not going to jail. So that empowers him to go out and be willy nilly in the world as far as as
So
far as
driving without a
driving goes.
license, you want to go out and police that.
Yeah, yeah,
look.
absolutely.
First, I mean, listen. There's different degrees of rules, right? Rules are put in place, and I'm talking about just actual moving violations and different things like that, for people to at least have some kind of decorum. You know what I'm saying? And once they're driving, and the higher you go, then you start to bring into the human element of it. You feel what I'm saying? Where am I stepping on this person's right? Am I doing this? Hey, see, I think they chose the actual traffic stops because it don't really hurt anyone. You know what I'm saying? Because your L's is messed up. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And
But if there's no fear of consequences for having a messed
that's
up
my point.
license.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's you can see, which I've been in law enforcement 30 years. I don't understand. I see it and I see where they're trying to go with it, but I don't understand. Why would you put yourselves in that predicament? You feel what I'm saying?
What if you have
But
what if you have to go? What if you have an emergency and have to go to the hospital and you don't have a license?
you go.
That's an
I'm
extreme.
saying
Yeah,
it's all subjective,
that's an
right?
extreme case.
Yeah, I mean, but look, I'm not debating it.
It's I'm
I'm just
saying it's
saying.
Well, what if you got
flash robbing a motherfucker is definite in what it is. The decisions that a person makes without a license, you know what I'm saying? What if it's an emergency or whatever? You know what I'm saying? It could be deemed subjective, man.
I mean, and you're absolutely right, man. See, and that's the thing about it is, I think what people are afraid of is you got to have some order, man.
absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying, Chief? I'm not talking about no totalitarian order. I'm talking about oh, and it's not about the moving violations. It has nothing to do with that. It's this where explain to me where you coming from when you say I'm not going to prosecute. What is what do you mean? You feel me?
Well,
Because
you have to factor in court backlogs, and all that shit.
but that's why you got people there working. That's why that's job security, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get it. I get
Okay,
it.
so okay, yo,
But
now explain
no,
that to me, bro.
no, it's nothing. It's nothing clever what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing an example. Like, yo, the backlog is not going to take away. It's not going to take away from anybody, right? But I think, in my thing is, I think the DA did it so they can continue to be the people's DA. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people are gonna vote for that person every 2 years and put them in office because, well, hell, you know what I mean? How many people driving dirty? You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's why I'm saying, like, yo, what's the motivation behind it? You know what I
Numbers.
mean?
I think what you need, what I'm trying to factor in is the social contract, man. I mean, we have to. I got to keep my license straight, you know, so I can be employed.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got to have good insurance on my vehicles, man. In case I get stopped, so I don't have to explain anything. You know what I mean? So why shouldn't Joe Smo have to do the same thing?
Yeah.
And I mean, if this was a trend set around the whole country, man, as small as as traffic violations are, how close does that really put us to being a third world country? Because what's next?
You know what might be next? On January 6th, there might be a whole bunch of motherfuckers storming the Capitol trying to
Hey man,
try.
look, and I
You know
don't
what
care.
I mean?
Oh my God.
I
Hey
don't
man,
care.
dude, hey, bro,
I don't.
that's just one example, man. Really?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care whose toes I step on when I say this. I've always said this, man. January 6th was the most American thing that could have possibly fucking happened. It's totally American. Totally
No,
American.
but first of all, it was a attempted coup. But guess what they call it? The what is the what is it supposed?
Reciprocity?
No.
I'm just talking shit, but listen, man.
I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to understand my
I
baby
forgot.
brother's thinking, man, because you got me confused a little bit.
I don't know how.
You said that was the most American thing. Okay, in terms of back
Because
200 years ago,
because
in
no,
revolutionary shit.
yeah.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
That's the only
That was
way you can speak
justified
on.
because okay, we talking about tyranny and we talking about a eagle maniacal motherfucker who ginned up motherfuckers to do some dumbass shit.
I'm talking.
There's a difference.
I'm talking about the citizenry.
The citizenry did what?
The citizenry who believe they have a legitimate beef.
So you talking about fringe groups? You talking about those fringe motherfuckers who
I'm
stormed
talking
the
about.
Capitol?
I'm talking about
Nah,
who.
them motherfuckers. It was so many fucking police officers in
Yeah,
there
Fringe
and soldiers.
motherfuckers, man. Proud
That's not
Boys.
French.
that's
It
not
wasn't.
friends.
Uh,
That's not
uh,
friends, man. Anytime you can go, you see a police officer on duty wearing a
So,
black flag. That's
so you
not
see
friends,
justice and
bro.
faces in that bullshit.
I didn't say.
Especially,
I didn't. No. I don't know what you're trying to do. I didn't say anything about justification. I said that's the most American thing that could have possibly happened.
right,
When
and
you
I'm trying to
said,
understand.
you know what it is? Let me attempt it. We've been conditioned to think as Americans that if we find a reason to revolt, that's what we should do.
yep.
And a lot of times, now think about it, in the Revolutionary War, why did they go to war with England?
Tyranny.
Why did we go to war with England?
It
No,
wasn't because of tea taxes. That's what got
it
it.
was because they was taxing, bro. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They was taxing. That was about money. It was about money.
Insurrection is written into
Yeah.
the American Constitution, man. It's written into the American Constitution.
That's the word I was looking for.
So they was justified.
Before insurrection.
You said justified. No, don't put word. You can't put that word in my mouth.
No.
I never said.
No, I'm
justified.
asking a question. I'm not putting the words in your mouth. I'm asking a question. It's not putting words in your mouth. You made a statement, and I'm questioning the statement that you made. I'm saying, were they justified when they did the insurrection? Were they justified?
No.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not speaking to justification at all, because the insurrection was something that's personally against me. It's personally against you. Their
Yeah.
reasons for being there was total bullshit, and
Yep.
I don't support that. But as far as this country, as far as being an American, they did what they figured their forefathers would have done.
Yep. They got talked into that dumb shit because they want to feel like they George Washington and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Are we
Yeah.
talking about the masses or some fucking fringe ass silly
I'm
stupid
talking.
motherfucker?
Oh,
I'm
it
talking
was a
about.
mixture. Why you think? Oh,
Yeah,
let me
I
just
don't.
ask this question real quick. Why you think that they didn't follow through? Because if they was all fringes, right? If they was all fringes, they had the numbers because they pulled all those people, all that law enforcement out of the Capitol building. They had the numbers to do the job, right? But they had regular sheep. The
Had
majority of them were sheep.
Mhm.
who?
That
You
is
talking about
what it
the
was.
insurrectionists or the
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
these motherfuckers broke out windows.
there.
They brought nooses in and all that.
exactly. Sheep.
If they was black, do you think they would have
They
gotten
were
that far?
no, they wouldn't. You
No,
know why?
no, they wouldn't.
Because
Okay, so
But see, this is my thing. You know how I say that was the most American thing could have happened. Well, traditionally, insurrection, treason, sedition is punishable by death.
yep,
So why are these people getting prison time?
because they're not fringes. The majority of the motherfuckers wasn't fringes. See that's the stuff
then
we
what,
need to pay
what were
attention
they
to.
then, man? If they wasn't
They
fringe,
was regular fucking people, man. I'm telling, and I'm not letting them off the hook. I'm telling you why we ain't seeing a whole street lined up with lynching posts because there was regular people. I'm trying to
now,
tell you.
okay, so let's talk about the nuances of that situation, man. The nuances, man. Right?
All
We
right,
the land,
hey,
we
before you go, you gonna ask your question, and we've been an hour and a half, so we're gonna dedicate 15 minutes to this. All right. So do your thing, Flo.
when I say fringes, man, did they represent the whole goddamn country, man? If that did, they wouldn't have got prosecuted, man. Indicted and prosecuted and
You
doing
know they
jail
should.
time.
You know they should have. You know the majority of them who entered that building should have been hung or doing life. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that for a
Okay,
fact.
but they are not the only dude. The Proud Boy leader, because he's more recognizable. How much time did he get?
And he had to be a
20 years.
Hispanic.
20 years. Why ain't he doing life? You understand what I'm saying to you? That's
Why?
all.
Because when you look at our situation, you gonna get me to talk about what's happening now in real time? What's happening now in terms of Israel and Palestine? people
All right.
people express how they feel about stuff, but it does not represent the whole. It doesn't.
Never said that.
Not at all.
Never said that. That was never part of my point.
You said that that's the American way. Hell, America starts a war every 5 years.
Do you not see it? The rhetoric that was being spewed at the time.
It's about rhetoric.
I mean, they had people there who still represented the Tea Party. How did the Tea Party get started? Why did the Tea Party get started?
Y'all both just said because a black man got elected in office. That's why. That's why.
Well, I mean, if that's all you see, then I can't.
Okay, what else do I see?
I can't. I don't know.
Explain it to me. Explain to me why Tea Party got started.
You're missing my whole premise, man. You're missing my whole premise. I'm not about to get sidetracked into a lot of other stuff. You're missing my whole premise, and I really don't see why you can't see my point. I'm not supporting these people. I never said anything about justification. I said that it was American. It's red-blooded American.
Okay, and you say
and
you're not gonna be sidetracked. I
those are the
respect
people,
that premise.
and those are the people who are out there.
I respect that premise, man. That you made.
They
You
consider
don't want to be
themselves.
sidetracked. I get it.
Okay, let me finish. All those people who are out there consider themselves to be red-blooded traditional Americans. So they had so they've been given a blueprint as to how to handle government from the Boston Tea Party. That's the Boston Tea, that's the Boston Tea Party I was talking about.
Okay.
And look, the thing about it is, and I hope the three of us agree, those were some freaking idiots who got duped into doing some dumbass shit because
Absolutely.
their lives was, and this is me speaking, their lives was boring. Hope. We need to mobilize. We need to do this, just like when in Virginia Beach, when they had tiki torches. Them sons of guns had no fucking business being there, but being dickheads. They wanted to be dickheads. You feel what I'm saying? You show them why the fuck.
You just got cut off.
I'm not questioning what you're saying, man, because I understand your point. I understand your premise, bro. What I'm saying is that is one faction of our country that's getting all the fucking attention.
Yeah.
And do we think or believe that's the American way? It's not. But because they're getting all the attention, we would think that that's how. Man, that is so depressing to me, man. Thinking
it is what it is, man. Because the people who were there, in my opinion, bro, are not the majority. They were the majority. They were the minority of people who could make it there.
That's exactly my point, bro.
If the majority could have made it there, then our current history would be so much different, man.
The majority happened when people got shot with rubber bullets and shit, man. When Trump wanted to hold the Bible upside down and shit. That's the majority. That's America. This shit happened. That's tyranny. That's a faction. That's bullshit. That is not America.
How many people? How many other people? When Barack Obama got elected, bro, on your Facebook feed was totally outraged. How many friends did you lose in the 8 years?
About 30% of the country.
No, how many white friends did you lose on Facebook that you stopped talking to because of how because of what they were saying about a black man in the White House?
But see, here's the thing, bro. Underneath the undercurrent, whatever underneath, that's a fallacy, man.
That was a question. No, it's not. No, it's not because I have people that.
How many white people that was proud that a black man got elected president?
That's surface. That's surface, man. That's surface.
All right, now you guys, now what you're doing is this is your opinion about it, right? You know what I mean? You're making a judgment about it now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You both are. You giving your opinion about how you felt, how people felt about.
I got a cramp. God damn.
Obama going into office. Hey, look, I dropped earlier, folks, but I gotta stop and get some gas, and this is a good spot for us to conclude this episode. But I'm gonna give you and Damon a couple minutes, 2 minutes, to speak what's on your mind. It don't have to be heavy. And when he come back, just talk about what's on your mind, then we're gonna shut this thing down. This was a great episode. Lot of dialogue. You know what I mean? So that we'll go into it. You know what
I
I
got a
mean?
what the hell moment. I got a what the hell moment, bro.
That's what's up. You know we always welcome them joints.
Mhm.
Let's wait for him to come back, and then we'll jump on it.
Man, I got a cramp in
But
my goddamn groin, dog. Oh my god.
You got a nut cramp?
In my groin, dog.
he said a nut cramp, so that's pretty much what it is.
Damn. Yo, niggas think this shit funny, man. Oh my god.
No, it
Yeah,
ain't
bro.
funny. No. Hilarious, right? Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, shit.
Look, yeah, did you hear what I was saying though, bro? As far as I'm gonna give you and Ja'Cory 2 minutes, then we're gonna shut this thing down. It's a great episode. Ja'Cory got a what the hell moment, and you can use your tool, whatever you want to do with it. All right. So we'll go to Ja'Cory first.
All right. What the hell, man? So I'm walking into this. I'm walking into the convenience store the other day, and I go to open the door, right? And as I open the door, three grown rusty ass men, squoze their ass through 3 inches of door, man. So they wouldn't have to touch it. Now I and I just stood there because the door bumped my foot and everything. I got bad feet. I can't take stuff like that. So it triggered me. So when they was all outside, I turned to him and I said, "So you think that's cool, fellas? You think it's cool, man? To let another man open the door for you like that? You feel comfortable with that?" And we stood out there and had a conversation for about 3 minutes. It wasn't really a conversation. It was I was posturing. I ain't give a fuck. Because I was yeah, man, I got gout in my foot, man. You gonna hit my foot with with a door and I got the gout. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's some fighting shit right there, bro.
Yeah. But I'm like, you don't have
Damn.
you ain't got no shame, man. You should.
Mhm.
You should be ashamed of yourself, man, because I'm 51 years old. And you dudes don't look to be half that age.
No
So what
doubt.
happened? What happened? What happened to people being gentlemen? What happened to the reverence? We used to have for the old head.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened to that, man? That's what we need to get back to.
Oh yeah.
You talk about
You know,
reverence, bro.
reverence. I call doesn't matter how old a young man is. I call him Mister This. I say Sir,
Yep.
and it rubs
Yep.
off. It really does. I like to think it rubs off, but that was just an example, man, of the moral decay of the fucking country in my opinion, man. I mean, you the type of man that won't hold the door for your mama.
That's true.
There ain't no man.
Damon is
But
on you. Yo too. Oh, are you done, Ja'Cory?
yeah, you said 2 minutes, yeah.
It's on you,
Um,
Damon.
with me, man. I have my idea of how I think should be based on my own personal life experience, man. And sometimes it doesn't coincide, man, with people that's young and who's trying to be where I'm at. So where do we find that happy medium, man? You know what I'm saying? I listened to bear with me for a minute. I listened to these people arguing about Palestine and Israel and stuff like that, and they say, could there ever be peace? At some point in time, you have to find peace somewhere, man. No matter how the collateral damage or the loss, man, you have to find peace somewhere to not continue the slaughter or whatever. I don't think people, man, have the, like you said, Ja'Cory, reverence, man, for understanding, man, and how do we survive moving forward? I don't think that in this day and time people have that understanding. They're only concerned because we're listening to people who have no business being listened to talk about their own personal shit and their own experience, and it has nothing to do with the whole. What we do, man, in terms of peace and allowing people to put their best foot forward and make a life for themselves. I don't think humanity, man, the way we live it right now, I don't think that we would give concessions to anybody, man. We all want what we want, and we think what we want matters more than anything else. And nobody's willing to make any concessions, man, in terms of survival. So we rushing towards Armageddon, man. We rushing towards that. And I got a grandbaby that's 2 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to my grave how her life is gonna be.
Go ahead and walk the dog.
How is her life going to be?
Watch the cars.
I got a pocket. I got a purse. Not a purse. I said a purse. Ain't that a bitch? I got a bag sitting over here, man, with money in it to go buy $260 worth of fucking AR bullets. I didn't spend that money on the bullets because I don't want that. I don't want to be in that situation. Do I have to protect myself on that level? How did we get to that point, man?
I think it's a good thing that you protect yourself on that level, but I wouldn't spend my money on new bullets. I spend my money on the reload machine.
I'm just saying, man. That is not my mindset.
Okay. All right, look. My phone get ready to die, and we're going to end on this note. Great episode, guys. Great conversation. I appreciate y'all. Remember the Strong Perspective Podcast. When you see it in the future, make sure you please go like, share, and subscribe. Build us up. Grassroots. Got great conversation for adults, for young, old. It's about conversation. All right, guys. I love y'all.
Love you too, bro.
And
You too, bro.
I'll get with y'all probably Sunday and Monday. All right?
All right, stay safe, man.
All right, y'all stay safe too.
You too.
Peace.
Peace.